Uncle Dunkle! Whoops! Uncle Dunkle! Are you home?
I'll be right there. Unless you're a salesman trying to sell something I don't want. If you are, I'll stay here until you go away. Are you a salesman?
What kind of salesman, Aunt Rapunzel?
A salesman who sells things. But I don't have any nephew salesmen. Well, my stars! It's Donnie, my little nephew Donnie. How's my favorite nephew?
I'm the only nephew you got, Aunt Rapunzel.
That's true. It's true as bumblebees and dish towels. But you'd be my favorite nephew even if I had 2.5 dozen nephews.
I'll accept that, as Uncle Dunkle might say.
Does he say that?
No, but he might.
Well, come in, Donnie, come in. Oh, and watch out for the broken second step on the porch.
It's too late, Aunt Rapunzel. My little legs already took a trip.
Oh, didn't you see the broken step?
I saw it, but my legs didn't.
I asked your Uncle Dunkle to fix that step, but...
But oh, gee!
Don't worry yourself, Donnie. I'll tell you a story today.
Gee, Aunt Rapunzel, would you? Hey, wait a minute. How did you know that's what I was thinking about?
Well, when you first came in, you were wearing a smile that stretched from ear to ear and halfway round the back of your head.
Yeah?
So now, dear, when I noticed your face was falling, I thought I'd better catch it before it hit the floor. But before I begin my story, I thought we'd get better acquainted.
Aunt Rapunzel, I come over here every day. How much more acquainted can we get?
So how are you, Donnie?
Uncle Dunkle does his segues much smoother.
Yes, well, Uncle Dunkle was always better at, that. Now, Donnie...
Do you know what segue means?
Of course, Donnie. Why, everyone knows that. Now, Donnie, your uncle tells me...
What does it mean, Aunt Rapunzel?
Segue?
Segue.
It means... Segue?
Segue. What does it mean?
It means...
Yes?
It means...
Yes? Yes?
I don't know.
That's okay, Aunt Rapunzel. There's lots of words that I don't know until you teach them to me. So this time, I can teach you a new word. A segue is some clever little word or sentence that Uncle Dunkle always uses so he can slide with ease and grace from one thought to another.
Where did you ever learn that, Donnie?
From Uncle Dunkle. He's one smart cookie.
Which brings me to my point. Your smart cookie uncle told me you need to wear glasses. For your eyes, I mean. Not the iced tea kind.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna wear 'em.
Why not?
'Cause glasses will make me funny looking.
Oh, no, they won't, dear. Your Uncle Dunkle wears glasses.
Like I said, they'll make me funny looking.
Oh, Donnie!
Just kidding.
I certainly hope so, dear. After all, he may be your smart cookie uncle, but he's also the crumb that I love.
Well, he's not funny looking, but I'd be funny looking.
We'll see. Ready for your story?
Sure.
It's about glasses.
I knew you were leading up to this. Uncle Dunkle would have been much smoother.
With his segues?
Right.
Uncle Dunkle's not here, dear.
I know.
Donnie, do you know where honey comes from?
Is this another segue?
Yes, it is.
Uncle Dunkle's a lot
smoother, I know. Anyway, do you know where honey comes from?
Okay, I'll go along with you on this one, 'cause you're a good egg, Aunt Rapunzel.
Is that like a smart cookie?
Close enough. Go on, ask me.
Gee, Donnie, do you know where honey comes from?
Why, no, Aunt Rapunzel, I don't.
I didn't either, until Uncle Dunkle bought me a beehive.
What for?
For my birthday.
That's a silly birthday present.
Well, that's what he bought me.
It's still silly.
So I became a beekeeper, and every day I went out to the beehive wearing my special beekeeper suit and hat.
Why?
So the bees wouldn't sting me.
Were the bees wearing suits and hats too?
No, because they knew I didn't know how to sting them. The beehive was like a busy little honey factory. There were rather proud-looking bees gathering the entrance of the hive. They were also very serious. I told them a joke, and they didn't even crack a smile. Of course, I really couldn't tell if they smiled or not. Bees don't have any teeth. Many of the bees were workers. They collected nectar from the nearby flowers. Others worked inside the hive factory, turning the nectar into sweet, sweet honey.
Sounds yummy.
And the entire job was overseen by the queen bee. One day I went out to the hive, and do you know what I heard?
No, what?
I heard,
Bigelow, Bigelow Bee. Yes, Queenie? Oh, don't be playful with me, Bigelow. Yes, Queenie, I mean your Royal Highness. Bigelow, step into my office. Yes, your Royal Highness. Whoops! Now I know why they call you a bumblebee. 'Cause I bumble? Correct. According to this report, you have fallen behind on your work. How do you know that report is accurate? Because I wrote it myself. Oh, according to this highly accurate report, which I wrote myself, all the other worker bees are bringing in 3 times as much nectar as you. I'm trying as hard as I can. Well, try harder, or I'll fire you. Fire me? You mean I wouldn't get any more free honey samples? Correct.
I'd have to turn in my keys to the washroom?
Correct. No more retirement plan? Correct. I'll try harder. Good. I'm glad we had this tiny chat, Bigelow. I'm glad too, Queenie. I mean, your royal Queenie. I mean, your highly queenship. Oh, skip it. I do hope you won't let me down. I won't. And you won't forget our little chat. I won't. And you'll bring in lots and lots of nectar. I won't. What? I will.
and with that, Bigelow bumbled out of the hive.
Whoops! I have to remember to watch that step. Now, I'll just fly right over to the big flower garden and bring back all the nectar my little stinger can carry. That's what I'll do. And did Bigelow do that, Aunt Rapunzel?
Well, that's the strange part, Donnie. He didn't. Bigelow flew right past the flower garden. He didn't even notice it.
Gee, that's strange.
That's what I thought, too. So I followed Bigelow.
And where did he go?
He flew through an open window inside my house.
It's Uncle Dunkle's house, too.
Well, you know what I mean.
Just keeping you on your toes. Did you follow Bigelow inside?
I surely did. And Bigelow was buzzing all over the house, going every which way, looking quite lost.
I sure have been flying for the ever so longest time. That big flower bed seems ever so much farther than it used to. Oh, wait a minute. There's a flower. A great big yellow flower. I see it now.
But it wasn't a flower at all. Guess what Bigelow was looking at?
I give up. What?
It was a painting of a big yellow flower. Well, Bigelow picked up speed and with all his might crashed smack dab right into that painting.
Ouch! That was ever so hard. For a flower, that is. Ooh. And I've done it now. I bent my poor little stinger. Now I'll have to make a pit stop at the hive and get it fixed.
So Bigelow Bee turned his bent little stinger around and headed for what he thought was the hive.
And wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed. He was flying right towards me. Bigelow flew straight into the bonnet that I had on to keep me from getting stung.
Say, the hive is empty. All the bees are gone.
Just then, Uncle Dunkle walked into the room.
Rapunzel, dear.
Yes, D'Artagnan?
Rapunzel, I don't know quite how to break this to you, but you have a bee in your bonnet.
I am well aware of that fact, D'Artagnan.
Well, as long as you know about it. I mean, heck, if you want to go around wearing a bee in your bonnet, I'm not going to stop you. Crazy new styles. Whatever happened to just plain old everyday hats? Bee in her bonnet. The craziest thing I ever did see.
And Uncle Dunkle left me and the bee.
Did Uncle Dunkle come back?
No, Donnie. He only had a small part in this story.
I'll accept that.
As Uncle Dunkle might have said.
Yeah, if he had a bigger part.
Well, after Uncle Dunkle left, I pleaded, Mr. B, come out, it's me, Rapunzel, your honey-loving beekeeper. You're in my hat.
In your hat? Sorry about that. Did Bigelow fly out of your hat, Aunt Rapunzel?
Yes. Oh, thank goodness. I told him that I'd been following him all afternoon.
Are you a spy for the Queen?
Oh, no. Oh, no. But I think I've solved your problem.
My problem is that I'm a bumbling bee.
But only because you can't see.
I can see. But, not very well, I'll admit.
You mean everything you see is fuzzy?
Not all the time. Sometimes, if I squint real hard, things are only blurry.
Did you ever check it out?
No, ma'am. I just thought that all bees see things fuzzy, squinty, blurry.
You couldn't find the big flower garden because you couldn't see where it was. You thought my bonnet was a bouquet. You need to wear glasses.
That's silly. Bees don't wear glasses.
Well then, you'll be the first. I'm taking you to Uncle Dunkle's eye doctor.
Before we go, I have to fly back to the Hive Hospital and get my poor little stinger unbent. Ouch! Only I don't know which way the Hive Hospital is.
So I pointed Bigelow Bee back toward the hive. Inside, a group of workers who specialized in that sort of thing straightened out his poor little stinger. Next, Bigelow met Uncle Dunkle's eye doctor. He checked out Bigelow's eyes and tested his vision.
Yes, it's true, Bigelow. You will have to wear glasses. There's only one problem.
You mean the money? Don't worry, the Queen will spring for it.
No, your problem is you have no ears. How can we get the glasses to stay on?
I have 2 antennas.
Why, so you do. Yes, we can attach your glasses to those.
And the doctor had his good friend, the eyeglass maker, make a special pair of tiny wire glasses that fit just right on Bigelow's head and attached perfectly to his antennas.
Was he funny looking?
Not in the least. He was as handsome could be in his glasses.
Gosh.
Newspaper reporters came from far and near to interview the handsome little bee.
Get a shot of that handsome little bee, Charlie. He looks great in those glasses.
Smile, Mr. B. You're gonna be famous.
Bigelow gave him a big smile. The man snapped the picture, and it appeared on the front page of every newspaper with the headline, Bee Wears Glasses. Now that Bigelow could see, he became a top worker at the beehive honey factory. Very soon after, the queen bee invited him into her office. Only this time, things went a bit differently.
Bigelow, you've brought in more honey than any other worker bee. Congratulations. You've changed.
Thanks, Queenie.
You haven't changed that much. The rule hasn't changed. You don't call the queen Queenie.
Sorry about that. What should I call you?
Call me partner.
Partner?
Sounds good already. Yes, it's gonna be me and you, Bigelow Bee. See?
I see.
Those glasses must be working already. You've done so well that I'm expanding my hive. You're gonna be the world's first king bee. Terrific! But what? I never heard of a king bee. Of course you haven't. Not until this very minute. I just made it up. Ha ha ha.
And so Bigelow was a huge success. His glasses allowed him to see. And even though he was now an executive bee, he still enjoyed the simple pleasures. And from time to time, I still see him flying among the pretty flowers in my garden.
Gee, the flowers are pretty. I would have never noticed that if it weren't for my glasses.